Let's get it. Back with another vid, YouTube. It's your boy Big Gap. And today, we're gonna be doing the installation on the 800 kV and the Castle XLX and a 42 tooth pinion gear in the Kraton 8S. I was going to run the Mamba Monster the XLX2, I'm sorry. But on my previous video, as you guys seen, I had problems binding it. So not binding it, getting it to calibrate. So I will be sending this back. But this is a project I needed to get done because it's been on the back burner for a good little while now, for a few weeks, like before Christmas. So I want to just go ahead and get it done and get it out of the way. So I'm going to be putting this in for now. And then later on, once the new XLX, once they exchange my XLX2, then I'll be installing it. So with no further ado, we're gonna get right into the video. I will be time lapsing on a lot of this stuff, for video's sake. Don't want to make this video too long. So we will be putting it in like so. I'm not really gonna have much space for the actual battery, but what I'm gonna do is I'm going to get it up a little bit closer to that steering. You have the steering little rack right, servo saver right there, so you wanna make sure we're not hitting on the servo saver. Servo saver needs a little space, all right. So right there would be a perfect position. Oh yeah, and then see my batteries can slide right up under there then with no problem. Okay, so that's where that will be. But all right, I've got that figured out. So now we have to remove this PPS motor mount. Spin that around for you guys. Hopefully you guys still can see pretty good. Yeah, you can see it pretty good. It ain't perfect, but see it pretty good. My tools. All right, getting the motor mount out right now. All right, that's the top piece that holds on the motor mount. And sorry, fellas, I have long nails, man. So a lot of people complain about my long nails. They say, oh, you got long nails. What are you doing? What is a man doing with long nails? Hey, man, everybody's not created equally, bro. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's body structure and stuff is not the same. That's something I've had all my life, so. All right, so have to add the screws in to get the motor mount on like so. So give me 1 second. Let me grab my screws. Alrighty, fellas. Motor mount is on. The next step would be to put your pinion on your shaft. I may have to take off these side skirts. I'm hoping I don't. I'm hoping I can just finagle it and get it in there. This motor mount, it works pretty good, so you don't have to, it doesn't have the perfect grooves on both sides. It just has the grooves on the inside that goes inside of the motor mount. So sometimes you can slide it, but I may have to finagle it because of the size of this can. So let's get this wrapper off of there. So let me get my pinion mounted up. It's always wise to put your pinion on before you put the motor in, if you ask me, because of keep you from having to take other things out. So if you get the pinion on there first, then you slide the motor in, then everything else you can always re-tighten up the pinion if you have to, or recenter it if you have to, if possible. So you don't have to get the pinion all the way snug yet. You can just tighten it up where it won't slide, and you can go ahead and get it on that little L in the motor shaft, the little bend in the motor shaft, the little notch. You can go ahead and get it in there. So let's see if we can finagle this big guy. Oh, nope, we have to take off the side skirts. So learn from my mistakes, fellas. Learn from my mistakes. My 1100 kV motor that I have in my other Kraton 8S, I didn't have to take them off. I was able to finagle it because it's a smaller can. I was able to finagle it in there. Alrighty. This is a hard car to work on for me because it's bigger than my table. My small workbench table is bigger. All right, we got one there. The battery tray off one of these. Yeah. All right, fellas. For the battery tray is this one and this one. I always try to separate my screws so everything can go back together the way that they came apart. I think it's one more for the battery tray. Yep. Maybe two more. I might have to take the back part of the battery tray out as well. This comes out. There we go. He fell. The front piece of the battery tray fell. Let's see, can I finagle it without? There you go. All right, battery tray fell. I don't have to take it all the way off. The rear one doesn't have to come off. Get y'all centered. There you go. The rear one doesn't have to come off. Just have to take the front one off so you can get this big behemoth in there. So we get it in there. Then we get our screws set. As I can see right here and right now, my pinion is back a little bit too far. It's out a little bit too far on the shaft. That's why I told you guys don't tighten it yet. Just put it snug to where you can still move it. But you still can move that pinion just slightly. Trying to go fast, man. I ain't as fast as a lot of other people, man. I'm still learning in this game, man. Still learning. I'm loving the game, but I'm still learning, fellas. All right, that should be all I need to where I can slide it, get it lined up with that. There we go. Now he is perfect with the thing. I couldn't find, this motor doesn't have that E-clip, so you don't have that, the ability to keep that pin on there. But I normally tighten this down nice and snug. I'm not a big fan of a lot of Loctite. A lot of people use a lot of Loctite. I don't. And I've only had problems with maybe a few cars where the pinion just had to be Loctited for it to work. Alrighty, so got that in there. Let's get this mesh set pretty good and we're gonna lock this thing back down. All right, we can always come back and set it, reset it if it's not tight enough. I mean, if it's not, the mesh is not good, you can always come back. So now you have to put your little motor mount holder back in. Ooh, boy, that's tight. The 800 kV fit is tight. You just got, boo, almost no space, but there it is, fellas. Castle 2028 is in the building, baby. It is in the building. So, all right, we're gonna flip it over. I'm gonna pause the video, go ahead and get everything buttoned back up. We're back with the XLX. I like to use this 3M double-sided tape. This is the Gorilla Glue, the Gorilla Glue brand. It holds up to 30 pounds. I actually love this stuff, man. Once you get it down, it's really, really hard to make this come loose. But we're gonna get this double-sided tape onto the XLX. The XLX does not have a lot of real estate, so you're gonna wanna try to use as much as you possibly can on it. Let me see, that's gonna be, some of it gonna be hanging off. Right there, let me make sure. Is that where I had it? A little bit more, it's a little too close. Right there, okay. Okay, cool. Alrighty. Met two-sided tapes. I got put one long one in the middle and two little small ones on the side. I had to cut them so I can get some extra, strength. Some extra strength. So let's get the other side of the 3M off and get that on. Okay. 3M is good. Next up, is going to be to get in the receiver box. The receiver box is here. We'll put that battery tray on last once we. All right, got the 6 screws out. Box comes up, voila. That's your receiver box right there. Perfectly. All right, so. All right, next we move to the receiver, to put the receiver in. A lot of people don't, if it's not a gyro receiver, they don't tape it down. They don't double side tape it down. They just let it bounce around in the box. But me personally, I like to double side mine down. Yeah, I like to double side sticky tape mine down. Just with some, like I said, added security. There's already a piece in there. I need to scratch that piece. Scratch the old piece of sticky tape out of there. Just using the flathead screwdriver. I don't have the awesome tools like a lot of other people do. I just have to use what I have, but it came out pretty smooth. Get that out of there. All right, get our new receiver in, get it in a nice way to where I could easily place the motor, the ESC and the servos back in it easily. Alrighty, see how we're gonna set it. A lot of people clean this off, but as you can see, it already been cleaned. It's nice and shiny in there. It's not oily at all. Wipe it, you don't see anything on my finger. It's not oily at all in there, so it's pretty good. So we'll put it towards the back of the box. Let's see. Do we want to put it this way? We'll put it this way. I already binded it out of the box. It wasn't together when I already had binded it to this receiver, so I don't have to go through the bind process again. I can just plug everything in where they go. So always remember, 1 to turn, 2 to burn. So your steering always gonna go in 1. And your ESC is always gonna go number 2. That's how I remember it. 1 to turn, 2 to burn. All right, get that nice and tucked out of the way. All right, next up, we're gonna get these two in for this XLX2 and get them out of the way. All right. So first up would be the actual ESC, and it goes into number 2. Is that the same one? Yep. Goes into number 2. And this one has the auxiliary. Some people don't plug them in on these older ones, but I do. So this will be going into number 3. And then here's your fan. Your fan right here. I will be plugging this into number 4. So this is a 5-channel, a 4-channel actual receiver. But you can use 5 channels because it's a bind channel down there. And you can use that as well for small things like fans and stuff like that. You can use that bind channel. All right, now this is where I always get a hard time. I always get a hard time right here, and that's making all the wires fit back in the box perfectly. Got the ESC on, got it double side tape. Now you have to remember what letter goes. This is a newer Castle 2028 motor, and this is an older ESC. As you can see, the ESC has the red, white, and black, and this one just has the letter, the letters A, B, and C. So I already had it hooked up before, so I know where they go. I know that B goes into the black. I know that C goes into the white. And I know is that A goes into the red. So, voila, fellas. Double side your ESC down. Get your Castle 2028 in there. Get your motor, your mesh set correctly. And you're ready to go, fellas. So that's my installation of the Castle 2028. And the XLX, the 2nd edition of the XLX, because the XLX2 is the 3rd edition. This is the 2nd edition of the XLX. So there it is. I appreciate y'all sticking around watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, dislike, whatever you like. YouTube in a minute.